Okay, here I am. Okay. Yeah, it's working. Okay. Little bit of a hiccup. Um, is it working? I don't know if my image is moving. Let's just see. Yeah, it's working. Okay, let's go. All right, so me and Peter, I've won one, I think, lost one. Um, I'm still in Division 3. Hi, Peter. Game. Okay, and I've got 16 minutes and 30 seconds. This I will just make the obviously. Okay, so these are tricky. It's like you want to make the 4 point, but then you left to leave a blot. I don't like that as a first thought. I think that leaves too much. That's interesting, and he just played it really quickly. I think that leaves too much of a gap in his inner board. I don't love that. He's got four blots lying about. I think I'm going to cube this. My first instinct was this isn't quite a cube, but what if I just roll a double two? How about I roll a 3-2 or a 4-2? Um, oh no, there's no chat. Is there chat? That's annoying. Yeah, so I'm thinking of doubling, but now I'm thinking about where the chat is. Maybe I can get it going. Yeah, did I click? Yeah, it should be. Yes, it's made for kids. Should be okay. Not sure why I can't see it. Okay. So if I roll something good, then I could definitely lose my market. And if I don't, I should be okay. So, uh, so even that, he rolls a 1-5. Oh, this is a market losing sequence. But the weird thing about, okay, probably going to hit on the ace point here because he's got loads of blots. Obviously didn't really want to have to do this. Could split or come down, don't know. Yeah, what was I saying? The thing about market losing sequences, one, two, so get that jobby in. It's always natural to bring it to the 6 point, but is actually right? Yeah, going back to the position where I doubled, it wasn't clear exactly how many market losing sequences I had. I mean, I needed him for me to roll something good and for him to fan, and that was certainly one. But if he'd have just come in with a 5-1, then if I'd have doubled the next go and hadn't doubled the previous go, I think he would have taken. Okay. But, well, I was going to say it's going well, but I think obviously, he did fan after my 3-2. He can come up from 17, come up from 16. Yeah, now continue hitting just seems like really normal to stop him from anchoring, and then good things can happen. I don't get to cover, so obviously I'm going to hit, and then I think I want to play big and try and get maximum covers for the 3 point. Again, all standard stuff. I could come up to the 21. If I come down to the 10 point, I give myself 7s to cover, which would actually be an extra 6-1. But 6-1 would make the 2 point anyway. Why is there only one viewer? Ridiculous. 2. Coming down is it seems like again I don't cover. Not covering is really annoying. I don't see how I can play it either. So I want to get maximum builders. I don't see how to do that really. Coming down to the 7 point does nothing really. I can play the man from the 8 point into the 5 point, giving 2s, but it's building anyway. I don't know what to do. If I come up to the 21, it precipitates the escape, which is a good thing. What a really annoying roll that I don't really know how to play. So he's not going to hit. Again, not covering, but making the ace point. I can just make the 8 point actually and come out and just let him hit me on the 3 point. I don't think I want to do that. I'd like to hit both 8-2, 3-1. To try and really what I'm trying to do a lot of the time is to stop the person from anchoring. I suppose it's obvious that I just make the ace point, but I'm just checking. I mean, I don't want him to come in on the deuce. That's the problem with the play. That's the problem with it. Why is there no... Okay, so now I have to certainly hit with the 2. This, I think, is... These are so tricky to get absolutely right. The first player I saw was playing the man from the 6 all the way to the 2. That leaves 4s and 1s to cover the 6 point. But what do I really want to do here? Do I want to keep the 6 point? Do I want to be hit back on the 6 or hit back on the deuce? What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? I could pick it up and leave no shots, but I don't think that's going to be right. Peter must be being very patient. I have to tell him I'm streaming. So trying to visualize. So if I do this, then why is my instinct to shift from the 5 to the 4 point? That doesn't make too much sense. I could just do this, bring 1 in, and get more covers. I've taken so long over something that's just... Well, 4 to 3 is forced, but I don't like to play it like that because then I get confused. 1. I could do this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's difficult for me while streaming to work it out. And then I could just play 16 to 15. There's so many options. 5s are going to cover, so I don't want to play 10 to 9, duplicating my own 5. That gives him a good double 4 if I play 16 to 15. So now I have to cover. And there's danger of him anchoring as well. I don't have a good 4. I don't have a good 4. And I'm not... Okay, so... Feels like I've not got maximum efficiency out of this. Now, I still certainly pick it up, but I might have trouble bringing my mem round if I don't cover it. So I think the idea is to try and cover. Yeah, not many covers. I mean, how many times have we had these positions in backgammon and yet we still don't know how to play them? It's incredible. I speak for myself. Incredible that I haven't quite solved this yet because it's just not systematic. Just not systematic in my approach. Because every time I do something and I'm not sure that I've made the right move, and that uncertainty kind of plays on my mind. Whereas if I kind of just knew, I would just know. And if I got unlucky, I'd know that I got unlucky. So that was all very shady. All very shady. Presumably the plays will be quite close, but that's just a facet of the position. They're all likely to be close. It doesn't mean that I haven't completely misunderstood a lot of the factors. So I guess this is slightly safer, but it doesn't take a man off. So I like use 6 minutes for basically a bit of a nothing game. Especially lots of time over the double 1. Leave myself with 9 checkers by taking an extra man off, but it's not worth it. I'm very, very likely to win a gammon, obviously. So there we go, yeah. I don't know where my chat is. Where's my fucking chat? Okay. Hopefully I can be a little bit quicker. Okay. Easy game, make the 18. Not much to think about, just other than when do we vacate the 18? When do we double? Seems I'm not going to think too much. This doesn't duplicate the covering number, but I think he's got 2 blocks, so I can afford to play it quite quickly. Some plays you just know that if you're going to play quickly, they're not going to be huge mistakes. If you... So he's got 2 blocks in board. Why is he 3 blocks in board? I guess I'm going to do that. Is he going to hit with a... Yeah. He's not going to hit with a 6-4. I don't know why he did that. What was his... I wasn't even concentrating. See what his move... What his roll was 5... So 5... What did he do? He's got 4 blocks. If I was ahead, I could think about vacating the 18, but don't think that makes sense. I won't only be up by 3 pips after the roll, so I'd love to make the bar, but I can't. So what? Just slot the 4 point, but I'd like to make the bar. I think a little bit more than the 4 point. So that was a little bit disappointing that I had to lift the checker from the bar, put it on the 4 point, and now I'm by no means guaranteed. If I go roll a 6-5, then it's not great. What other sixes? 6-1, 6-2, 6-3. Oh, okay. Okay. Another 5-3. Again, he's still got those 2 blocks, so again thinking about running, but not doesn't. Is there any instance where you would run where you're behind? I don't think so. Again, I haven't. Oh, you should just make the 4 and the 3 point from the 8 point. Now forcing me not to leave shots because he's got a very, very strong board. He's got a 5 point board. I don't see how I can not leave the double 4 and the 6-2. So I wouldn't know that running off the anchor isn't wrong. That's the way I approach it. I just couldn't say. I would probably not go for running out with both. Playing to the 3 point is a little bit deep, so he's going to play to the 3 point. I'm just going to come in with something. Then what? So now this makes sense. It makes sense to some degree, apart from it makes my 5-3, my double 5, my double 3 super good. Seems wrong to go to the 3. I'm not going to be doubling, obviously. 4-1 I could hit, but that would leave too many shots, and making the bar is really solid, so I'd be surprised if hitting was a contender. And now I've got to think about this because I've got a 5 prime. But I'm a bit stiff, so my builders are in 2 places rather than, let's say, if one of the checkers from the 6 was on the 5 point, that would make it a lot stronger. 13 pips down, and I'm 4-0 up. So I do know that I miss cubes like this. But maybe that's not the right approach to go with. The best approach is just to try and understand what's happening in position. Well, certainly if I hit with a 3 or a 5 and he rolls a 1, then it's going to be something that's go for me, like a double, maybe a take. So maybe the fact that it would still be a take because he's got a 5 point board makes this, I think it's a fairly easy roll. Again, I could be falling into my usual trap. If I roll a 6 or he just escapes, or this, which I don't know how to play, but let's just do this, not take too much time. Am I going to be cubing next go? Almost certainly not. There's no role for him that would. Peter says, no problem, I was on the phone to a UKBGF member. Okay. And this is why I'm always like this. If he comes in on the 8 point, this must be something. No, it's just. I think it's still an easy take, but if I roll 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, all okay, 5-2, and then I get into problems with 5-2, 5-3, 5-4. 6-4 will make the 6 prime. 6-5, 6-3 point. It could be a little bit naughty to double this. He should take this very, very quickly. Yeah, he does. Okay. He does. And I roll the one of the worst. I can just duplicate the numbers here. One thing I would do by staying on the 18 is duplicate the 1-6. But now I duplicate the 1 by staying back. But if I stay on the 18, he rolls a 6. Okay, yeah, he hits. What am I talking about? Okay. How would it have been the other way? That's ridiculous. He was like close to a recube. I would have thought 1, so hitting obviously. 1. Could switch. So the fact that he took it so quickly and look just judging from the sequence makes me think that it could well have not been a double. And then clearly I have difficulty with these because I was thinking about doubling the last go and now questioning even whether or not it was a double the next go after it improved quite a lot. So really tricky. But also I don't want to use too much time. I don't want to bore him. So even after this hit, I should be fine. He's only got a 3-point board. It's going to be very difficult for him to actually get a recube and to turn it around. So you can either play 18 to 7 and keep the checkers back, but then if I roll something small, he's not going to get a direct shot. So the alternative is to come out to the 19 and do this, yeah. But the downside to this is that if I roll a 7, this is exactly what he wanted. But if I'd have rolled a 7, I would have hit. So that would have been the downside to his play. I don't think there's too much in these. I think he wants to be hit with double 5 and double 6 because they'll both leave shots for him. Now, do I want to play 3 to 1? Problem is I might not be able to cover it. I think it makes more sense to come out. Only like a couple of fans away now from him going, maybe a bit more than a couple of fans. I was going to say for him going favourite. I mean, I should be like 70. What? It's very difficult for me to judge my winning chances because I've got gammons as well as single game wins. I'm so delighted there are 14 people watching because I screwed up the link. I wish I could get the chat working. So 4 is forced. 2 is effectively forced because I want to minimize shots. Again, a couple of fans away from a turnaround for him. So it's close. He must have close to 50% already. Maybe not. I've got 6 men off 6, 5, 8, 9. This is tricky. So he wants to stay back for maximum coverage. I don't think he needs to stop himself from getting hit, but he'd like to be hit with double. Okay, he wants to block double 5. So this loses out to 6-5, but 6-5 would get hit. So yeah, I think his idea of making the 10-point is probably best because it stops the biggest gain for me. Double 5 is my biggest gain. This makes sense. So I mean, it can't have been wrong because he would have been hit with that 6-5 anyway. Obviously, it'd be better for him to be hit because now he has some winning chances actually. 1, 2. He doesn't always lose. He could just roll this. Is he going to put the pressure on? Just another double. Miss, leaving me with so what do we got? We got 8 versus 5. So he just needs a double? Well, yeah, and then I'd have 4. Okay, so he needs more. I think it's slightly better to do this when he makes the bar. So he'll make the 21, he'll make the 8. I mean, he'll make the 5. He should make the 5. That's an easy move. I have mixed feelings as to whether when I get an easy roll, I was like, that's nice, it's a relief, but then it's nothing new. It doesn't really make you think, or this is one that isn't completely clear. Actually, there's a little bit of panic. So maybe I just want easy moves. What's going on? What's actually happening in this position? I don't desperately want to stay back. I want to stay back, but I don't want to stay back. Why do I want to stay back? Because I'm down in the race, but I don't want to stay back because I'm primed. I could come out to the 16 and duplicate the 4s, and I'm probably going to end up doing that without having any confidence as to whether it's right. But maybe it's not necessary. If I'm down 14 pips, actually. Maybe it's not necessary to run at all. Maybe I can just come up. This is a play that I didn't consider, and this is the play I'm going to make. It's so random. So I guess the idea is daylight for both of them. If I get hit, pointed on with one, I can make the anchor with the other. But the upshot is, the conclusion is, I have no idea whether or not this configuration, or exactly what's going on with this configuration where you leave your 2 checkers on the 22 and the 21. It's just kind of guesswork. So what's he got here? I'm not sure there's going to be a big difference. I slightly favour making the point for him. So going to make the anchor without thinking too much. He's got a blocking board. Can't be too bad to play to the 9 point. And now, obviously, we make the 9. And then we think about whether there would ever be a universe where we come off the anchor. Does it gain? Yeah, it gains. You come off a point where you're primed, but it also loses a lot. Also notice that you want to let your opponent play now. So for example, if he rolls a 3-2 and you left the anchor, he'd point on you. But if he rolls a 3-2 now and you haven't left the anchor, then he's just going to have to play something like 7-5, 6-3, which is nowhere near as good for him. So that's one thing to notice. Whether or not when you're deciding whether to leave anchors or not, just look at whether or not your opponent sort of has to break something with his next roll. So I'm 13 pips down. I'm probably a favourite, but it's easy to see that I shouldn't come off the anchor. And now again, I could come off the anchor with both, but my decision is made because I'm behind. So do I need to run? I don't think so. There could be I'm not good enough to know if there's never a situation where you run. when you're behind. I've said that a couple of times already. And now I don't think that Peter should leave a shot. So he's just going to have to play to the 2-point, which is definitely not what he wants to do. Definitely what he doesn't want to do. I think doing what he wants to do, which would be 2 down, is too big. Whoa. Was that a misclick? What's this? So what's this? He's played 8-3, 8-2. No, I don't like that. Again, if I was down, well, not again, just, I hadn't said it, but I'm always thinking this. If I was down 6-0, then it would be worth thinking about cubing, but I'm up 6-0. I'm 13 bits down in the race. I might break without knowing really what's going on too much. It's quite easy to see that it's not cube. Again, I think I would just play safe. I don't know why Peter's got it into his head that he needs to keep that checker back. I mean, he does for coverage, but I wouldn't leave a shot. I would hit with... Not delighted. I mean, most threes I will hit with, whether or not I'd be comfortable to. So what's he doing? I think he should just bring it in. Firstly, by not bringing it in, he leaves me the 6-3, the 5-4. I think he's overthinking. And now if he does this, the question is, do I break the 5' or do I come off the anchor? Certain numbers, these are always tricky decisions. Well, at least I can't get it wrong because I can't leave the anchor. So if I leave just make the board from the 7-point, I leave him some reasonably good threes. 3-1 will hit and cover. Double 3 will hit and cover. But it's a little bit ugly to clear the 8-point. And I want to block the big numbers. It seems okay. It's one of the pitfalls that I fall into. So 4-1. He's also got this kind of awkward setup. So the 6 is going to cover the man on the deuce point. And then presumably you would rather have a man on the 3. So the lesser of two evils is to stack them up on the 5-point. And this is why I shouldn't have done what I did, because now I want to come out, of course. And I want to come out with both. And now I leave a 3. Obviously I didn't see at the time, and there's no other play. I have to do this. It also leaves a 6-5, but that's not a big deal. I don't think he can cube, but maybe he can. He didn't even think about it. And now the decisions should be easy for me, because I don't have to decide about leaving anchors. Okay, so that's another punishment for playing 7-3. The checker stays there. So what's the most accurate? 6-5 leaves a shot. 1, 2, 3. 6-4. I don't really know, but I'm going a bit low on time. 1, 2, 3. Don't want to bury a checker, but it could be right. So this now leaves a 6-4. Again, easy, no double decision. I think he's got... I think I'm going to cover. Could just bring it in. He goes with impunity. 6-0 up. Now this is a decision. 5 pips down. 5 pips down. You know, if I roll any 6, he's got a closed board. Can't be too bad not to double this. Five pips down. How many point making number 16? It's got to be. I just don't know. Feels like it's a little bit early. You lose your market big time. Now it's going to be too good. Again, I don't know if that's right. Level 6. Double 5 is okay. No, I guess I have to cube. So that was a big time. I think I have to double this. Just cause. Yeah, I mean, I did roll the 5-4. Just clueless. Was okay. 5-4, 5-2. 2-1. Probably hitting for him. Okay. Four away, 11 away. I don't think I'm going to be cubing anything. I wonder how bad a cube would be. I think it would be bad. So near the finish line. I mean, this is a very threatening position, but my 6-2 and my double 4 are duplicated. That is duplicated. Again, I'm not sure. I don't want him to make the anchor, but he would have made it anyway. Okay, so this is an easy no double decision. 5, I guess. And not wanting to come up and give him good 3s and 1s. Because he's got good 2s to come up to the 21 point. So these are the tricky things. When you're up in the match, cubing is difficult, at least for me. When you're leading, cubing is very tricky. Very perceptive. Okay. I don't think this is deceptive, even though he's leaving it 2. He's got an anchor. I don't think there's any reason to double that. Leading 7-0. So the thing is, whether or not I was right in my decisions, the decisive factor is how certain I was. So I was so uncertain. So it's not really about whether you make mistakes, it's about whether or not you had certainty in the position. There can be lots and lots of positions where we get things right. But there's no certainty and no understanding. So, does he need to come out? I guess he's not behind anymore, so that's okay. This is just like a force play. I don't have to think about the up or downside of having the 7 point as opposed to the 8. So no decision. Of course he should come out. Like, no reason to stay there. And don't think there's any reason for me to stay there either, and I duplicate the 2 by coming to the 14 point. Usually always right to come out if you're ahead, because this can happen, you can get missed. Of course I'm going to cube, and it's a pretty easy cube decision, I think. Could be actually I'm going to reconsider 14 pips on 112, and I don't necessarily get past. With the 13 point to clear, so I don't think I lose my market on anything but something like double 5, double 6. Double 4 will not clear the man, get the man from the 14 to safety, so I think I've got a much more sensible double from this position here. I'd be surprised if he passes this, but I think it's a very easy decision on my part. Well, I think it's an easy take decision for him. I think he should take. So these cube decisions are very easy, but the other one I had where I was 5 pips down, I was like, I guess worried. I guess that was the prevailing emotion. I couldn't work out how the race impacted my position. I didn't really have time to think deeply about it. But I must have been quite a big favourite for sure, even being 5 pips down, because even if I didn't point on him first time, he still had to escape at 5 prime. So now I'm tending to think that it could well have been a double. Okay. It could be a pass. I mean, I don't know. My sense is that's a take. I mean, what does he lose by me going 9-0 as opposed to 8-0? Okay, so he makes the... Kind of happy to split, even though he's made the 2 point. He should come up and come down. That's very obvious. And now he will have some cubes, and I'll have some passes and some takes, depending on what I roll here. So if I roll like a... Most of the time I think I have a take. Oh yeah, maybe he should do this. So now 3-1 is bad. 3-1 otherwise would make 21 point, 3-1. But of course the 9 point is very powerful. So if he makes the 4, he loses out on having the 9. Okay. I'm going to roll the 3-1, so 6-2 is obvious. Solving is probably okay because some of my 2s are not going to be great. 6-1, I'm tempted just to play from the 13 point because I don't want to put 2 on an extra 1 on the 6 point and have a blot on the ace. Alternatively, I could clear the 8, so I'm not leaving shots. Maybe that's okay actually. If I play 13-6, I do give him like very good 1-6, 1-4, 1-3, which otherwise may not be that good. But if I clear the 8, that's not great, is it? Don't think I can come off the anchor. I don't know what to do here. This I don't love. But if he doesn't hit this, obviously I'm better off this way. Okay, this I don't get. I wasn't expecting that at all. And now he just has to cover. He can't hit. So if he's not hitting with 1-5, I should have seen that. And maybe 13-6 is reasonable. Problem is now that the race is close, so I don't just get to stay on the anchor without thinking. Sometimes I have to leave the anchor. Yeah, I think he should make the 4, I think. No. I don't think you should do this. This doesn't make sense. This is probably best, actually. Keeping the 9, keeping my 6s blocked. Okay, this awkwardness, but no choice. Have to keep the 8 point. It's okay. Seems fair to go. If I roll double 4, then I hit twice and make the 3. Builders for the bar maybe for him. I don't know what he should be doing, or he could just, yeah. So now double 4 is not so good for me. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary to give a double 4 for no reason, so I agree with Peter. And most of my 6s are blocked anyway. I think I want to bring it in for the race. So the only 6 that plays is 6-4. 1. Guess I want to make the board, keep the board. Not sure. Could he do something like lift the 8? And that gives double 5. This gives double 4. Maybe it's better to do this than the other. Now he wants to stay back on the 11, play something like, yeah, 9, 8, 9, 6. I wish I could see the chat. Maybe I can see the chat somewhere, actually. Hold on. Oh, I know where. I know where I can see the chat. I can just watch it, right? Chat is disabled for this live stream. Why is the chat disabled? How do I get the chat going? Okay, that's forced. Double 3. Allow stuff, allow automatic chapters. Forced. Yes, it's me. Maybe I need to fill in the description box. So is he going to gammon me now? So he's got 6s. Okay, so still no chat. I don't know why it disables chat. Don't know why. So again, easy no cube, easy cube decision. For the moment anyway. Customization. Live chat, yeah. Um, it says it's made for kids. And I'm just getting like the nut roll every single time is a bit embarrassing. No decisions. Okay, that's the 5. So 5's to hit. Duplicate the 5. Should probably think about this. Can't be bothered. Two one 3-1. Even rolling a 3-1, and then I leave shots after. Okay, so this is something. So I have to roll 6-1, 5-1, 4-1, 3-1, and then he has to hit. But I do have some gammons. So if he passes and goes 1 away, 11 away, he's going to have about 4%. So what is it? 6-1, 5-1, 4-1, 3-1 is 8 numbers, of which he hits a third of the time, which is 2 and something numbers. That's more than 4% already. Okay. I think that nails it enough to roll. I mean, the margins are going to be really small. They're going to be really small. But hopefully for the stream's sake, he's going to save this, and I'm going to get into a massive amount of time trouble. I think he's used a lot of time as well. So there were quite a few gammons from that position. I underestimated it. I underestimated them. Okay. So you're going to try and look. I'm intrigued. Always like, how did I play? No idea. Wow. Oh, I played a 6. Let's have a look. All right. Let's try and get XG open. Okay. And then what do we want? We want this match. How about like this? Okay, I'm just opening the match. If I go to this, private database. What? Private database. Completed matches. Tournament match. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So it should open any moment now. Or not. Or not. Or not. Yeah. Here we go. Let me turn that round. No, I didn't want to do that. Right. We got the direction the other way around, but it doesn't matter too much. The double three. This double was fine. All these plays were fine. Five three. This 6-3 was really awkward. All these plays I took a long time over, like this one, just checking. This double one. So best was just to run. My instinct was to play from the 6 point, but that's not one of the top plays. Best was just to clear and leave no shots. This is 4-ply. I'm going to come back maybe to this. I just want to see where my big mistakes are. This, I could have picked it up. Okay. Played 4-3. Okay. So that was inaccurate. Okay. So then I was 4-0 up. 4-3. And I played this 6-5 without thinking too much. And it's not good. So I should have left the checker on the 4 point. I realized it was better there, but I didn't really give proper thought to actually leaving it there. Peter played well, although he didn't have much to think about. Then I left the checker there again. Which is not good. So this is big blunder number one. I would have thought, so I was thinking that if I leave it on the 18 point, I get hit with sixes. Obviously something I'm not seeing. I mean, yeah, I felt like I should play 18-9, but I then overruled myself. Then this, I thought about making the ace, but then I realized that I thought I had to make the 2 point, so I didn't see that you can do both. 9, 4, 8, 6, okay. Should have played 3 to 1. Okay. I should have run all the way, okay. Seven three was a little bit inaccurate. I shouldn't have run off the anchor, and then this was a big cube. 22-15 I did see, but quickly disregarded. So 2-1. And then this was a cube, and then he was right to pass. Yeah, it was a huge pass. Oh, I'm way off. Wow. Terrible. It just shows that when I think, I get it wrong. So I'm best off not thinking. So I should have cleared the 8 point. Okay, so that's fine. I was kind of in the right ballpark here. Didn't see the double at all. So not only was I getting my moves wrong, I was getting his moves completely wrong. He was doing everything right. Typical. I didn't have to hit. And then I just got lucky. Okay, fair enough. I kind of, the mistakes were magnified because there weren't many decisions, but yeah, the major one was this one, the 5-4. I guess a lot has to do with having the extra blot. If you get hit with a 2, then although it dupes the 1, you can get that other checker hit. Maybe, he says, without being convinced. Don't see it. I don't see it. Alright, I'm going to go. But thank you guys for watching. A bit embarrassed I didn't play very well, but I think I played some good moves, but completely I was a bit off with this, for example, thinking that this was not a cube yet, and 14 pips. I think my racing formula a little bit skewed in favor of the taker. 19 is just too much. Seeing as that you've got plenty of opportunity to clear these points, I didn't really see that. But yeah, sometimes you get absorbed by energy, by the energy of absorber talking, and so it's all good. Yeah, got this cube right. So thanks for watching, and I need to get this up on YouTube to end the stream. There we go. All right. Bye, guys. Next time we'll have chat.